Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up Real Estate on a Wednesday, October 25. It's What's Working Wednesday. I'm going to share some campaigns. And just because we're always about transparency, I'm going to share some campaigns that are working really well right now and some that were not, that were duds, let's say.
I'm not showing those.
Yeah. Okay. And then we have Jordan to share a story. I actually teased this story on Monday, but Jordan was traveling and
inundated.
I should have verified ahead of time that he was available. I went ahead and you know what happens.
I usually don't miss them though. I usually don't miss it.
Right.
So well, it was a weird week.
It's a good reminder that when you assume, we all know what happens. So he's going to share a story.
Get a lower interest rate.
Oh yes, look at that tie-in. When you assume you get a lower interest rate than the current market condition. Yes. Anyway, geez. Jordan's going to share a story on how he saved a transaction last week. The borrowers, I think, were denied by 4 other lenders, and he saved a transaction. And it's not just to, share that Jordan's a big hero. It's to illustrate, like, you have to have the right players on your team, especially when the market is hard and transactions are few and far between. You got to do everything you can to save whatever, transactions and opportunities you got going. Jordan, you were about to say something.
I know of 2 specifically. There's 2 specifically I know. The borrower mentioned more, but I would say 2 for now, just to be conservative. At least a 9 by 2 of the banks. Yeah.
Beautiful. So let's do this. Ryan, do you have a social post of the day?
Yes, very
Let's start
quickly.
with that. While Ryan is bringing that up, the show, as always, is brought to you by Just Listed, Just Sold, powered by Thanks.io. You can check out justlistedjustsold.com, which should, if you're watching this on video, is top right on your screen. What do we have here? Some mortgage math today. What are you really trying to scare people?
Well, no, I'm sticking with our theme on the assumable mortgages the past few days. So I went to GPT, just asked GPT what the difference would be and what would happen if I reinvested the money with a 5% real return that I saved in the interest rate. So spit me out the numbers. Just a Galifianakis, our favorite kind of math meme there. And then the call to action, you can either wait for lower interest rates or ask your agent to help you find a property with a suitable mortgage. So
if you want to swipe and deploy, go find Ryan on socials. Mike also does a great job of curating these and adding them to the site at wakeup.realestate. You can go and create your free account. If you haven't already, you're late to the party. Go check it out, wakeup.realestate. There's lots of great stuff there. There's mini courses, there's scripts and templates, and Ryan's social posts of the day. There's also lead capture pages, lots of really cool resources there. No reason not to go check them out. And just another example of, use AI to create content and post it on social, or turn it into blog posts, or use it as a video script. I mean,
I would have never done a post like that because I wouldn't have spent. I don't even know if I know how to do that.
Right. Yeah. Whether you use ChatGPT or Bard or whatever, like, come up with an idea. Daphne, was this the one from the past? I had a TikTok go viral duetting some real estate math. I think I remember this. Daphne's she ended up getting like tens of thousands of views or something like that on a TikTok that she duetted on. It was just a guy talking about some real estate math, if I remember correctly.
Awesome. Yeah, look at the prompt here. It's just, you can just ramble on and say it like you would think it.
Yeah.
And the thing just gives it to you. Anyway.
It's getting smarter and smarter, which is a little scary. But also might as well. Whoa, this is a new one.
What's that?
And has 200,000 views. Holy
Well, give us a link. What's the TikTok channel?
Let's check it out. I think it's Daphne Bousquet Real Estate, I think is her TikTok. Yeah, I think that's it anyway. Feel free to drop it in the chat. All right, let's Jordan. So let's dig into the stories here, the deals saved, and the bigger lessons from that.
Sure. First, I want to preference that any one of these banks could have closed this. Let's start there. Okay, so it is not.
To repeat, any one of the ones that denied it could have closed it, but they weren't proactive enough or creative enough to figure it out or come up with the solution.
Yeah, I think a lot of originators in themselves will look at a problem and they'll say, okay, it doesn't fit the box, and they'll walk away, right?
Yeah.
They'll just say, hey, this person doesn't qualify, instead of saying, what can I do to make them fit in the box? So this particular example was a client, which I was under the impression that they wouldn't use his Schedule E income because he owned commercial property, right? I've never experienced that. I've never ran across it. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. What really happened is that one, he was a 1099 in person, 1099 person, in that he had less than 1 year of being 1099. He worked at his employer for 11 years. Okay. But they recently, a year ago, they had a problem with an accountant. So they swapped him to 1099.
Yeah.
That was the problem, right? They weren't using that income, so they didn't qualify, right? They weren't using that income. So his employer swapped him to 1099 and went until they found a new accountant. Why wouldn't they swap him back? He was W-2'd for 10 years. I don't think any originator asked that question. So I did, and he went to his employer and they swapped him back to W-2. We needed 30 days worth of pay stubs from that point. So it was honestly a simple fix. It wasn't anything that was, life altering or finding out, a guideline that other people didn't know. It was just the fact that having the ability to look at the problem and say, okay, now what if I removed this obstacle, right? What if I removed this portion and added, another $52,000 a year in income? We ended up having to do a couple extra things and ended up getting a raise as well along with it. But at the end of the day, it's just looking at that problem and saying, okay, what's the least resistance to get you where you're trying to go? But looking at it in a format that's not just guideline based. There's nothing in the rules that tells me that I can't swap a client from 1099 to W-2, as long as it's explained. Right? We wrote a letter explanation, let them know that their tax accountant a year ago kind of disappeared and screwed things up, and they had to fix a bunch of stuff on the employer side. So they swapped everyone to 1099, and they're swapping them back. And underwriting took it no problem. I mean, that wasn't an issue at all. So as long as it makes sense, then 9 times out of 10, no one's going to balk at it, right? Yeah. As long as it makes sense in general, and that there's a timeline there that would, they could understand, underwriter can, logically work through.
Two takeaways from this, one self-serving and one just general. Okay. The self-serving one being, if you have clients that have been turned down or you have a deal that's falling apart and you want a second look, you should get with us and see if we can help. Number 2 is just don't ever assume no is no, right? Like it might be no, and there might be no way to fix it, but oftentimes it's just you're working with the wrong person. You got the wrong person in the boat with you. You got the wrong. They're unwilling to look at it through a different angle or lens because it doesn't fit in this nice little pretty box. Sorry, we can't help. And the reality is, that's a disservice, right? From a service perspective, that's not providing the best service by any way, shape, or form. And I would say more deals are probably lost because of just simply not being able to creatively problem solve than it being real issues.
There's more deals that just don't happen, not just
True.
lost, but just don't happen in general because we don't. I mean, I don't know how many times that I've had people in the middle of the process, right, where they were denied by another bank, and I just had them go to their employer and ask for a raise. There's nothing that stops them from people getting a raise in the process, right? Yeah. And getting a raise of $2 or $1 or whatever, so they can buy that house. I've had many clients that are, that do that, and you just need one pay stub. The very next pay stub typically will show it, and that's within the 30-day window of closing anyway. 9 times out of 10. So, keep that in mind. It's like, when you're talking to your clients, is if we're not income qualifying, how far are we off? That's the first question. The second question is, how do I bridge that gap?
Yep. If you have someone that you'd like us to see if we can help, or to give a second opinion or a second look, or a deal falling apart, just text 888-403-6678, 888-403-MORT. You can text pretty much anything there, and someone on the team, probably Mike initially, will hop in and then get you pointed in the right direction on that front. Jordan, anything else before we switch to some what's working now, ads and campaigns, etc.?
No, I just, the market's hard, in general. So dig deep. Don't throw away 500 credit scores. Credit scores go down to 500. If they got 10% down, for sure. And, think outside the box. That's really
Think outside the box. 100%. All right, let's I'm going to share my screen. So what's working now? Well, I've got a campaign running, an ad running for home value leads. I'm using iList, and we've actually documented how to create an ad like this, and how to have Facebook track the conversion. So you can do a conversion campaign where you're sending people off of Facebook. And we're happy to share that with any of you. You can just go to wakeup.realestate, use the little chat widget. Mike can get you that information. But this one is working really well right now. Very straightforward. Own a home in Central PA, ? Curious what a buyer might pay in today's market. Tap learn more below for instant access to 4 unique automated values, or go to, and that goes to the home value lander. In either scenario, they're going to my iList home valuation page right here. You can get a free 45-day trial with iList at growwithjosh.com/iList, growwithjosh.com/iList. I tested, so this image is a screenshot from KV Core. It's a map image screenshot from KV Core of just properties in the area. I wanted a map image, but not just a plain map. I wanted, like, bubbles and prices on there. And this came out as the winner. I tested 4 different campaigns, and the cost per lead right now is under $10. Okay.
Wow.
It's still kind of early. It's only, I've only spent $123, but
what's the landing page view to conversion rate? Because usually that's really hard with Facebook. That sounds pretty good.
Let's see.
It's not hard to get the traffic. The problem with seller leads to a landing page with Facebook ads has always been just the quality of the traffic Facebook sends and the conversion rate on the page.
The link clicks, it says, are 126, so it's higher than 10%.
Yeah, but a link click isn't even a click to the page. You got to add a column for the landing pages. You know how to do that?
Yeah. Is it?
It's kind of a pain in the butt. I don't want to make you do it here live.
Here, action? Is it by action?
Yeah, that's interesting to me because it tells me that those iList pages convert. It's a really tough thing to do with Facebook traffic.
So that's working right now. But I tested. I did 2 different ads, 2 with that map image, 2 with actually the image that I have in the background here. And this one was the winner. All of them generated some leads, but this one was the winner. So what I did this morning is I duplicated that one. I broadened the geographic target and layered on some interest targeting, and we'll see what happens with that one. Some ads that aren't really working right now, and I'm shocked by this. So I launched an ad for a specific new construction listing, one that I have permission to promote, and the cost per lead, I've tried a couple of different things. The cost per lead has been really high. So I don't know if it's my copy. I've tried a different image this morning, a collage style image here. But, normally for a specific listing, you can get leads for $1, $2, $3. I have not been there. And I specifically was taking an idea from Dean Jackson, his instant open house idea. And I wanted to collect leads for the week, and then Friday morning for Follow-Up Friday, send a message that is in line with yesterday's Texting Tuesday, which is, we have some folks we're taking out to check out 1121 Lotus. Would you this weekend? Would you like to join us? And so I wanted to collect leads for the week and then send that out to all of them on Friday morning to see if we can get anybody out looking at houses this weekend. And I'll still do it, but it's going to be for a lot less leads than what I was expecting. Anyway, so I'll keep playing with that. And I don't know if it's just a weird, week on Facebook, which happens from time to time, or what's going on. And then one other thing I'll share, it's hard to say to what degree it's working, but I launched a retargeting campaign with several different ad sets. And, I'm getting, at least from a reach perspective and a top of mind awareness perspective, they're going pretty well so far. And it's just a variety of different, I think some of them are video content. Some of them are just static images. Like this one is this is a recent closing, where, we took a picture at settlement. She also left me a nice Google review. So I snapshotted the Google review, put our image on top, and just said, congrats. Right. So it's just a retargeting. There's no even call to action in it other than, they could send a message.
Have you, sorry to cut, have you tried sending that in the mail, testimonial, to the neighbors? Or would that be awkward for the buyer?
Now we're cooking. I like that.
Yeah, welcome to the neighborhood, and then a picture of them with the testimonial. Could be interesting. I don't know if how the buyers would feel about their pictures splattered all over the neighborhood, but
that's a good point. These folks wouldn't have a problem with it.
Right.
Not everybody might, maybe not everybody will, but that's interesting.
Yeah. All right, keep going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was really what I had. I mean, I've been testing a bunch of different things. I'll bring up one other one. I've been doing weekly virtual workshops, and this week I'm covering 10 mistakes to avoid when buying a new construction home, and the ads for that have been not great. But the zero down, last week I did zero down, and I had a couple of campaigns that were getting leads for $7, and that's someone registering for a virtual workshop, which is not.
You need to put that on auto. That one.
Yeah. So definitely. So what I'm doing. This is a good marketing lesson, I think. So here's the ad. It was just a short little video by me inviting them to a free online class to help you buy your first or next home for zero down payment, or with zero down payment, for zero down payment. No. Anyway, so what I'm doing, and this is a good, I think, sort of bigger marketing lesson, is testing a bunch of things to find out what works, and then figuring out how you can automate or leverage in as many ways possible. So I'm going to do a number of different topics, both on the buying side and on the selling side, and then turn that into automated content. For example, that would be great retargeting content, where they can come check out an on-demand virtual workshop on how to buy your first or next home with zero down payment, or how you can buy a home as a self-employed business owner here in Central PA, which is another one that I'm going to do soon. And then I'm going to do some seller specific ones, right? 12 mistakes to avoid when selling your home, 5 dangers of overpricing your home, and then just a general, how to sell your Central PA home for top dollar. So I'm working on all of that. And we do have, I didn't even think of this. We do have a document that I've been just kind of dumping in ads and messaging and so forth around these workshops. And if you just go to wakeup.realestate and use the chat widget or email mike@growwithjosh.com. He can share that Google Doc with you.
Yeah, so I'll share, and you messaged me this morning in line with the home seller leads. The iList platform has a pretty sweet integration with Zoodealio. Is that the one? And a few others, right?
Yeah.
So this page right here, give me a few days, but this will be available to everybody who's a Wake Up Real Estate member. You can put your ID for Zoodealio in here, and then any area. And this is just a really simple page. It'll evolve, and you can just the person can just pop an address in here and get their Zoodealio thing. So put the address in.
It pops them over. They verify, yes, that's my home. Let's go. And then Zoodealio is now capturing partial leads, which they weren't in the past. So they're now capturing address only leads, which is one of the reasons why I messaged Ryan this morning and said, hey, what can we do to build some of this out? So that's a very much a work in progress and version 1.0, but pretty cool. Some great questions and comments here.
Yeah, what do you got?
How many leads have you generated from iList home value conversion ad? So from Facebook, I think is what she's asking, Soledad, and I can tell you in total. Let me pull up the numbers. In total, 21 for across all the campaigns that I've tested so far. The average price per lead, $11.74. The one I shared was the lowest so far, which is currently at $8.19 per lead.
Either those pages convert really well, or people are in the mood to opt into seller side marketing right now because of what the market's doing. Because you couldn't get those numbers a year ago.
Yeah.
So,
Mark says it might be the builder. It could be any number of things. And that's Mark commenting on the ad that I was running for a specific new construction home. It could be the builder. It could be the town that it's in. There's all number of things. So I'm going to test the same concept with a different property next week and just keep doing that, because that's a formula for, if a certain percentage of people that are opting in for a specific property are going to actually be interested or are opting in because they're in the neighborhood, they live in the neighborhood, and they're thinking, like, those are good leads, right? And so having a process where you collect them and then try to get them out looking at houses over the weekend or get into a conversation is something that I'm planning on continuing with and trying different, different content, being the property, the listing. Anyone have a good follow-up sequence for the Facebook leads? Yeah, Andrea, we've got tons of great ones.
Yeah, property alerts.
Andrea or Andrea, I can't remember. But just go to wakeup.real estate. There's tons of great stuff in there. And also, depending on what CRM you're using, I can't remember if you're using KV Core, but if you are, we've got share codes. We've got share codes that we can just drop to you. Just email mike@growwithjosh.com or the chat widget on the Wake Up.
But for those seller leads, send something in the mail to follow up. Josh, you do that with everything. Send, and then it's counterintuitive, either a market update on a regular basis, or just set them up for property alerts as if they were a buyer in their neighborhood, and you've got a lot of your bases covered just with that.
So just generally speaking, the way I do it is we have usually 7 to 10 days of automated follow-up to try and sift and sort out the ones that are motivated, ready, willing, and able now. And then ongoing, it's an email every Friday or weekly email newsletter. It's making sure that they're either on a search alert or a market report or both. And it's direct mail follow-up as well. And it's retargeting, right? So that they're seeing you and getting comfortable with you and your value proposition, and hopefully if you're using video with it as well. So
Todd's asking about the home value ads.
I would say not enough data to really.
Yeah.
I mean,
but how many of you gotten through the iList? One of the issues is we don't have the conversion tracking installed, so we were kind of eyeballing that. The issue is getting the clicks.
Right.
They don't come fast and furious. You've gotten 3 clicks on that one campaign that you have with that
And that was 3 clicks that happened pretty quickly. Like we haven't gotten any clicks in like a week on that one. If it's still at 3, it's a while.
My ad that we ran an ad last week, right? I think on one of these sessions, or we did it on the mastermind. That's got 4 clicks off of that video we did on I think it's last Wednesday's show or last Thursday's show. We're paying $8 a click for that, and I think you at least got 1 lead.
Yeah.
But the Facebook's sounding more promising right now, for whatever reason.
Yeah, and I mean, I have listed properties from Facebook in the past, so I mean, it's from Facebook home value leads. I mean, it certainly works. So let's see here.
Which page has been hacked? Can you just let us know?
I don't know. About? Yeah, and which one and why, and hopefully it's not anything super inappropriate. Like we had, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, we had somebody posting stuff. I have Chime. Just need to set up a good follow-up sequence and wanted suggestions. Yeah, well, Chime is great. And you know, we don't have share codes for that, but we can give you the follow-up sequences. And you know, you want to match it to whatever the niche is, or what is, you know, what was the reason for them to come in as a lead as best you can. And then just make sure you've got good long-term, because it's going to be a very, you know, 1 to 3% are going to be ready, willing, and able now. So you're trying to sift and sort out those, and then position yourself for the other 5, 10, 20% that will transact in the next 6, 12, 18, 24 months.
But Josh, I'm biased on this front, but would you say that the physical stuff you put in people's hands after they opt in as a seller lead, you know, the packages that get to their door,
the seller leads for home value, that's how you win.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going off of memory here, but I'm fairly certain every seller lead that I've turned into a client, direct mail was a part of the process in some way, shape, or form.
And I don't know. I'll share this today. Maybe we'll do this tomorrow, Josh. I don't know if I'll quite be ready, but Thanks.io integrates with Cloud CMA now, and you can do this with iList too. But just send the home value report. Josh does it manually with RPR up till now, but send some abbreviated report to everybody who opts in. I was trying to find one of yours as an example here. What are you sending? You've been sending those little one-off. I have a buyer for your house letters, right? This one right here. So Josh just sends. He's got a cover letter, and Thanks.io attaches the RPR report. The Cloud CMA integration, and a lot of you guys might not realize it. I think like half the agents in the country have it through their MLS. I didn't
know either.
Yeah, so now with Thanks, I'll be doing some videos about how to do it, but you can pop your Cloud CMA API key into Thanks, and when you add a seller lead to a list, it'll just send basically what you see Josh doing here with RPR automatically. And that's free. So all right, we're getting up to a half hour, right?
Yep. Hey, thanks for the heads up on the Wake Up. I think they were referring to the Facebook group and Wake Up. It didn't seem like anything super inappropriate, but I was able to clean some of that out. You know, unfortunately, we try to make it easy to join. We don't want to put up too many roadblocks, but that also means sometimes you get some knuckleheads.
Thanks, Bill. Is it my MLM buddies again?
Yeah, who knows? Anyway, today is Wednesday, which means at 1 o'clock we have our weekly mastermind workshop. You can come and hang out with us. It's a more intimate Zoom meeting. wakeup.realestate/mm. wakeup.realestate/mm. Tomorrow, for Tech Tip Thursday, I have a tool on the Google business listing and Google search optimization front that I'm going to play with this afternoon. I heard on a podcast this morning. I'm going to play with this afternoon and share that. You know, we'll have some good stuff on the follow-up front for Friday as well. Same time, same place. What are you giggling about?
Did you see Andrew with your boy?
I did.
Facebook just showed
making me very jealous.
You gotta join the Reel.
I know Andrew Robinson, our guy Andrew Robinson in Ohio. He's with Reel, and they had Alex Hormozy as their keynote, and he even got a picture with my man Alex, my bromance. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? He's living a good life. Yeah.
I'm just
all right. Hopefully we'll see some of you at 1. If not, see you tomorrow. Same place,
Thanks,
same
guys.
time. I know Jordan had to bounce out. I think he was having connection issues, but thank you to Jordan for sharing that. It's time to roll up our sleeves and get creative, problem solve, and just put in the work. Put in the work. Put in the work. See you later.
Bye, guys.